How's everybody doing? My name is Kurt Friedrich and I'm the owner-driver of CFRacing, and welcome to our 10th and final post-race video of the 2024 season. First off, I want to thank my wife, my family, my wife Malou, Tad and Ty for coming out to the track and helping us out and supporting me out while racing. I want to thank our sponsors, Kristen Murphy with Meraki Realty, brokered by Real. Kristen Murphy is a real estate agent in the Richmond area. She also does a lot with within the Richmond community, and also does a lot with service members within the Richmond community. So if anybody's needing any help with buying or selling a home, please reach out to her. I'll put her contact information in the description below, and she'll be glad to help you out with your real estate needs whenever it comes to you needing to buy or sell a home. I also want to thank Jim's by Denny on eBay. Jim's by Denny on eBay is an online sales website for do-it-yourself buyers who are trying to put a little bit of their custom touch to their jewelry pieces. So it's a great place to find some cheap gemstones and cheap settings and save some money on your jewelry pieces. So please go check out their website. I also want to thank Blackhat Speed for their continued support and helping me out throughout the season, trying to find ways to make this go-kart faster. I also want to thank you guys, the fans, who are watching this video. Without you guys supporting us, there's really no reason to really do these videos. So I want to thank you guys for watching us throughout the season and following along. A lot of you guys have been asking me about the videos and how things have been going, and I certainly appreciate your support. So let's go ahead and talk about the race this weekend. We went down to Tri County Speedway and raced in both Clone 375 and Pro Clone 375, and I'll just start by saying that basically we went from having the best weekend we ever had to having one of the worst weekends we've had of the season. Racing is a humbling sport. It definitely goes from the highest of highs to sometimes the lowest of lows, and this week I feel like we experienced that. It was pretty much run of the mill, really, but just the expectations we had coming off of win from the previous weekend and having a new go-kart, we really went in the wrong direction. But I think I know why we went in the wrong direction. I think it was mistakes the crew chief made. I've always said that I'm not a crew chief, but I don't actually have a crew chief that knows how to really make the decisions to adjust the go-kart and work the tires and make the go-kart faster. I know how to drive it, but I don't know what to do to it to make it faster. But I can tell you that I definitely went the wrong way with the adjustments that I made. So it was a learning experience, and maybe with a learning experience I'll be able to become a better crew chief and also a tire guy, not a tire guy. I definitely think that I went the wrong direction with the tires. So basically in practice, it was really just kind of getting a feel for the go-kart, feel for the tires on the track. I thought in the first practice we were okay. A couple guys got by us. There was another kart that we were chasing down. The kart was real slimy, really not in the track at all. And after that I was like, man, when this track starts tightening up, we'll be okay. In the second round of practice, still not so much, but still nothing really to worry about. But yeah, still not in the track. When it came to qualifying, as far as how the kart felt in qualifying, by this time the track was starting to tighten up a little bit, but I was having a hard time getting the kart down on the bottom of the track, so I kept running about a groove high and where there's less grip, and I really messed up in the first run of practice, or first round of qualifying for Clone 375. And qualified 15th out of 16th. When I saw that timing, yeah, I was a little worried and a little disappointed, but I felt like I knew what I needed to do as a driver to get a little bit quicker. And then when I went out for qualifying for Pro Clone, I definitely did a lot better, picked up some speed, but still not fast enough to get a good qualifying spot. Ended up 13th out of 16. Still, the go-kart just felt out of the track. And I just really didn't feel comfortable in the go-kart at all. I really was not sure what to do to the go-kart to try and get it to get into the track. Did a few things with the tires to what I thought was in the right direction. So we went out for a Clone 375. I think we were starting off okay, but really only got like a lap or two into the race. And then one of the starts, we go-kart racing, you get right on each other's back bumpers and start kind of pushing each other on the start of the races. And I got bumped pretty hard in the back, and it was really weird. After I got bumped in the back, when I had the throttle all the way down, all of a sudden the motor started cutting off. I would go about half throttle, and then the motor would act like it's on full throttle. So I ran a few laps like that, just kind of trying to feel it out and see what it's doing. Then another caution came out and slowed down. We came to a stop on the track, and the motor was like at a high idle. So I had to stop and try to fix it on the track, see what's going on. One of the track workers came over there looking at it too, but the race was about to get going. So they told me, get off the track. So unfortunately I only got a few laps in that race, and ended up finishing that race 16th out of 16. I looked this motor over and I couldn't find anything wrong with it. I took it over to a very reputable engine guy who was there, Todd Miller. He also helped me out a little bit in the past before COVID when I was racing. Took it over there, told him what's going on. He said, hey, bring the cart over to me, I'll take a look at it. Brought it over to him, he cranked it up and seemed fine. And he wasn't sure what the issue was, so, okay, well, it seems to be running fine. Gave me a few suggestions to do, change spark plug, change the air filter. I did that, and start getting these tires ready for the race. And by this time I was going out of my element with the tires, doing some things that I hadn't done before with tires to try and get them to stick. And when it came to the Pro Clone 375, when we started that race, I ended up getting bumped up the track for the two guys who were starting behind me. They bumped me up the track. I spun out, went a lap down, and usually when I go a lap down, I go ahead and pull off the track. But this time it's like I need to run some laps. I need to see what's going on with this go-kart, and by this time the pack had passed me, so I was by myself. So okay, let's get some laps in. Let's see how this motor's running. It still sounds a little bit off, but let's see how this motor's running. Let's see how these tires are doing. And I felt like, and also I wanted the seat time. I felt like I was doing a little bit better with what I was supposed to be doing behind the wheel as a driver, but the cart just never felt like it was in the track. Oh, and I also think I had the wrong gearing on it too, because I was definitely over revving the engine going in the corners, which caused me to back off earlier through the corners. So yeah, then it was just logging laps, and the ladies were coming around and lapped me again, and by that time, then I went ahead and pulled off. Ended up finishing the race 13 out of 15. So really, I'm just gonna say it, very disappointing. Again, that's pretty much how we ran with the old go-kart, but with this go-kart, we were definitely expecting to run a lot better. I just think that I went in the wrong direction with some of the tire things I was doing with the tires, and then also with the gears. So learn what not to do. We'll go back next time and we'll try to do something different and completely different, and hopefully that will make a difference and get us into the pack and be competitive. Our goals for the weekend was finish all the races. We failed at that. Learn how to clone races. Learn how to clone races with the Recon. Well, I know it doesn't feel like it's in the track. And then the tire test with the Reaper tires. Well, whatever I was doing to them kept them out of the track, and I didn't feel like we were in the track in gripping. So, yeah, we didn't. I guess in those two cases we met our goal, because now we know what not to do. So knowing what not to do is part of the tire testing and learning. So we'll take that and move forward. As far as our next race, that's it for us for the 2024 season. We scheduled to run 10 races, budgeted to race 10 races. I think with buying this go-kart, we went over budget. But that finishes up for this year. It was a fun year. I'll say that this past week was probably the first weekend where I did not have fun. But overall, it was a fun year. I think we did learn a lot, things we can carry into next year. So yeah, our next race will be the first race we're able to run in the 2025 season. So with that being said, again, I want to thank our sponsors, Krista Murphy with Meraki Realty, brokered by Real, Jim's by Denny on eBay, and also Blackhat Speed for his continued support. We're also looking for additional sponsorship, so if anybody's interested in having a little bit more exposure for their brand, we'd be glad to put a sticker on the side of our go-kart. And just remember, you're not just putting a sticker on a go-kart, you're also considered a member of our team, and we'd be glad to help you promote. We would be glad to help promote your brand. I also want to thank Malou for her help and also filming this video. We'll have another video sometime next month in December, just kind of close out the year, talk about the highlights of the year and some of the lows of the year, like this past weekend, and just kind of recap the season. Until then, don't forget to subscribe, comment, rate, share, all of the above, and we'll see you guys in a few weeks for our next video. Until then, take it easy.